class, both faculty and students, but we all have to adapt. Okay, and most probably, if everything goes well, from the next trimester, maybe we'll again meet in the physical classroom. But until then, we have to continue in online. So my utmost request to you, please try to adjust with the system rather than feeling like, okay, this is a problem, this is an excuse, this is actually bad, so that we cannot communicate. I will help you, but you have to also help me to establish an interactive class environment in this course. Okay, I'll try to use English as easy as possible, because the main target of learning is communication, right? And very interestingly, the name of the course, this course is what? Computer network. So network is basically communication, right? Networking was before the computer was invented. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
How? Mahmoud, can you tell us how? Just your logic. How it was before, I think 1000 years before networking was there, communication was there.
Sir, sir, I'm Bangla বললে স্যার ভালো।
Okay, okay. If you feel easy, but try to make it from yourself. Try to make it time to time. I know it is very hard for you to completely go to English suddenly for many of you, but my suggestion is never always use Bangla, so that it will be again tough for you to convert to English. Okay, Mahmoud.
Yes, sir. Sir,
can you give an example? Can you give a real life example how communication was there even before computer was invented?
Sir, Telegram.
Right.
Then হচ্ছে sir.
Even telephone was long before, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Before computer. Also, if you think about a very practical example, like someone, maybe king sent a message
yes, sir.
to his troops in the field using some chirkut, using some message using
yes,
paper,
sir.
right? Paper and pencil.
Yes, sir.
So it was long before. So communication, okay, thank you, Mahmoud. Communication actually was from the very beginning of human time. But now after the invention of computer, it is very, very going in a very exponential rate. We cannot think our life without digital communication, right? So computer networks is basically communicating using computer. This is one of the courses that we can actually easily relate to our real life example. So anyways, to make you more engaged during the interaction, because in the last 2 trimesters, I found it very hard to make it interactive. Why? It is not like you don't understand. You all understand. Maybe your understanding is good, but the problem is in online, unlike in the physical class, it's not face to face. The main obstacle is actually to see you interactive pages rather than just a picture. So I don't know how you are reacting. Did you understand the concept? Even most of the students don't interact in the class. So it is the problem. Also in this trimester, we'll try to go in full English. But again, to me, it's better to interact rather than just thinking about English. So you have to interact. If you need Bangla, I will not mind. You can ask questions in Bangla rather than you feel not comfortable asking in English. So that is from my point of view. But again, my suggestion will be, because all the courses will be in English, you have to cope up with English. So it's better to start now. And I will ask everybody not to criticize anything, any effort, any question in the class. I will never do that. I'll always encourage you, even if many of us didn't come from English background, right? So we have, especially in spoken English, we have very obstacle, very much. Sometimes we feel shy, sometimes we feel not comfortable. But if you continuously try, you can do that. And why it is completely English, you will realize when you go outside. I hope, I know some of you will go for higher studies, many of you will go for jobs, many of you will go for even overseas for job or education purpose. So it's better to start. But having said that, again, I agree, I think most of you agree with me, I agree with you, in the engineering field, understanding the concept is far more important than linguistic barrier, right? But you have to interact with me, you have to support with me, I am always with you. So let us make this course more and more interactive. And my experience using English in the class is not very good. Maybe I don't speak very good English, maybe I cannot engage students sometimes, but I joined UIU in 2005, long before. And then I started in 100% English. I just came back from USA. I did my master's. I started in 100% English because I thought, okay, it's better to engage students in English because that will help them in the long run. But many times I started and then I had to come back again to Bangla. But I hate to mix very much Bangla and English, although I used some Bangla in the start of the class, but it's better to go fully Bangla, fully English, because when you go outside, out of the country, you have to communicate. But many times I have to come back. But this time it's official, that is better. We don't need to have any confusion whether we'll go with that or without that. Now if there is no confusion, so class will be conducted in full English, and occasionally you can use Bangla. Maybe তোমরা যদি ঘুমিয়ে পড়ো মাঝে মধ্যে তাহলে একটু বাংলাতে দরকার, তাই না? So I'm not saying that I will use 100% English always, because sometimes I need to wake up you. But please help me to make this course a success. Let us not make English as the barrier of our understanding. So I'll try my level best. Okay, now another thing is the attendance. Okay, I'm not very much worried about giving you attendance, but there is a rule. You know, there is a rule of 5 marks. So if you miss more than 3 classes in a trimester, you will lose 1 point, maybe 4 out of 5. So that is one official rule. I am not very much strict on that. I can sometimes give you if you have proper reasons. But what is more important to me is the interaction. So, having said that, our attendance will be taken like this way. See, understand this. I have a printed attendance sheet in front of me. I know in online there are lots of problems. You might have bad internet connection sometimes. You might have loss of current. The current is not available for some time in the area. But with all these problems, we have to still participate in the class, or at least we should get the knowledge what is required for the course, for the exam. So I will call you names randomly. I have a printed attendance sheet. See, I will call 3 times maximum during the class to make it interactive. I will call your names. Out of 3 times, if you don't respond any call, that is you missed all 3 responses, then attendance will not be given. Is it okay? So try to make the class more interesting, more interactive. And as I said, I'll never put anything on you. If you even ask a very simple question, sometimes we might think, okay, this is a stupid question. No, there is no stupid question. All questions are valuable. Just try to be attendant in the class and try to interact. But okay, one thing, just if you think, okay, you missed one class, then you can come in the next class and you have just missed something. Then if you ask questions based on that, that will be a problem. So in this case, in that case, just go through what is covered, because recording will be there, materials will be there in the LMS. So even if you miss the class, you should go through the materials before coming to the next class. Other than that, you can ask any question. And what I follow, I repeat many things in the class several times. So you have to just get it somewhere in the middle. Since we have started full English, so I understand your problem. Just keep in mind, I understand your problem. So think in that way. I will try to help. You will also try to cooperate. So I think I have said the same thing many times. It should be clear, right? Any points in this regard? Did you face any difficulties so far? We can discuss. If you face any difficulties in the class, we can discuss, and then we can actually act accordingly. Okay. Now, let us first start with our course outline. Let me share the screen. Okay, so this is our course outline. Okay. Actually, my room number is given, but now we are online, so I have my phone number placed here. But I prefer SMS and emails because most of the time I cannot actually receive all the calls. That is a problem. Sometimes I will be in another class, sometimes I'll be busy. So I can ensure you, if you send SMS to me, if you send email to me, I will try my best to respond as early as possible. So I prefer these two rather than calling. But if in case of emergency, you can call, no problem. Okay, all the materials will be available in our ELMS. Okay. And I think all of you are already enrolled in LMS. If some of you is not registered yet, if you complete your registration, you have to enroll manually. In case of manual enrollment, you have to use 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you already know that 1, 2, 3, 4 to enroll a particular course. Okay, so our class will be on Google Meet. Link is already given in the LMS. You can already see here Google Meet classroom link. Okay, one thing actually I forget to do, that is send you invitation for the Google Meet link. I will send it just after the class by today, and you have to just accept. You have to click yes, and then for the next time you don't need to seek permission, okay, to enter, because each time you need to enter in the class you have to seek permission. I have to click admit. That is a problem. So I will send an invitation mail, you will accept, and then for the next class you don't need any permission, you can just enter in the classroom. This is already the link added in LMS page, okay. And there is another link, access all class recordings or materials. Here there is a Google Drive. If you click here you can go to the Google Drive. Nothing is here. I will put all the materials just after the end of the class. By that day, that is the class recording, other materials, all will be put here. Actually, class recordings or any other documents will be put in the Google Drive. Other documents I will upload in LMS. Okay. Okay. So that is how you will get the materials. Any questions so far? Okay. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. We will follow a textbook, and I strongly encourage you to collect this book. By the way, do you collect any printed book anymore? Anyone?
No, sir, for this course.
Not for this course, but I think in nowadays you just read what? Soft copies.
Yes, sir, PDF copy.
PDF copy. And faculties provide you the PDF copies of the book?
Yes, sir. Generally, normally.
Generally. Okay, I have a little bit of observation on that. That is, although PDF is very easy to get, sometimes it is against the law, because maybe there are copyright laws. That is a problem.
Yes, sir.
I still believe if you collect at least one printed book, that will help. But if you work with PDF copies, no problem. But I saw many flaws using PDF copies. I think all of you have used PDF copies. How many of you think PDF copies are a good replacement in terms of learning?
I don't think so, sir.
I mean, maybe after a few years, printed copies will, I don't know, they will disappear. But still, I think, especially in the undergrad level, where most of the courses we give one textbook on. See, computer network is one of the core courses for computer science students. It is mandatory, right? After data communication, there is computer network. And
Yes, sir.
in your professional life, this will directly help you. So if you collect one printed book, that will be fine. Why? Let me explain. If you just read a printed book, that is a different feeling. If you read a PDF, what is the problem? Maybe sometimes I open the PDF and then in the other tab I have Facebook, right? Did you face this problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's a human psychology, just the other side of using PDF. But I'm not against the PDF. If there are 3 or 4 books, sometimes you may have better knowledge using that. I'm not against that. But what I saw, out of 50 students, maybe only 5 students get benefited from PDF. not others get benefit. It is not like others not get benefit. It is like others are not utilizing PDF in a good way. But if you have a printed textbook, then everybody has the same thing. When you open the book, you are only in the book. That is my observation. But anyways, we are in the digital world, so it's continuously changing, and we have to adapt with the changes. I'm not against that. But having said that, still my suggestion is, if you can collect your textbook, and there are very cheap version, cost-effective version. If you can collect this, if you are very eager to get knowledge on computer networks that will help you in professional life, then my suggestion is to collect the printed book, because that will help you. Definitely that will help you. This is one of the courses. It's not like end of the course, you don't need that. You will need that long time. Okay. Anyways, but if you can collect soft copy, I might give you one soft copy. Is the soft copy uploaded in ELMS or they put in Google Drive?
Sir,
Faculties?
it happens in both ways. Some
Both
faculty
ways.
app. Yes, sir.
Okay, normally I don't provide any PDF, but if you search the PDF copy, definitely will find one. Nice,
Sir,
nice. Yes.
sir,
Is it?
I already bought the book. Like it is 7th edition. Is it okay?
Yes, 7th edition is perfect. Already
Okay,
8th
sir.
edition in the market, but we don't need 8th edition. 7th edition is perfect. And I will suggest everybody. I
Yes, sir.
don't provide PDF in the class. It's my opinion. But if you search, you will definitely get one. But I don't provide in the class, in the sense I like my students to collect that textbook. It is not that is very cost effective. But if you and only that textbook is needed, I will not give any other books. So only one textbook will be enough, and you will get the very basic concepts in this book that will help you later. So like you have an interview, you have to get some knowledge about networking, like IP addressing, like subnetting, like practical things. You will need that later. Okay, before interview, go through the book. But it is very tough in the PDF to keep track of all the things. Okay, so my suggestion is collect this printed textbook. Still, I am on that side. Maybe you don't agree with me, but I am still on that side. So, but again, if you search, you can easily find the PDF. But I will not provide you the PDF. But in the other way, I will provide you some helping documents. Do you hear about the workbook we used in the class from someone? In computer network course, we use a workbook. Okay, actually workbook, I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you later. First, let us finish our course outline. So the only textbook we need is Computer Networking, a top-down approach featuring the internet. Kouros and Ross, 7th edition, that is 2017. They have 8th edition out in 2020, but we don't need that right now. We need 7th edition will be fine. And I suggest you to collect the 7th edition. And there are 2 reference books. This is only for reference. Sometimes same topic, if we read in some other books, if you have time, that helps. But this is not necessary. I think our textbook will be more than enough in this course. So that is about textbook. Now evaluation, I think already 2 trimesters you have all spent in online, so you all know more or less about this. But let me review again. 5% attendance. So if you miss more than 3 classes, you will start to lose points in attendance. But up to 3 classes, it's okay. Then class test, 40%, very important. 40% in the class test. and we'll take 3 out of 5. 5 classes will be taken, and out of 5 we'll take best 3. So you have 2 options. So even after these 2 options, if for example you have 2 good marks in 2 class tests and one class test you have poor mark, you have to bear with that. There is no backup. And all class tests I will take normally online, but 1 or 2 I might take offline. So before every class test, I will make you, I will inform you about online or offline. In case of online class test, you will give the class test in the LMS. There will be multiple choice questions, single answer, multiple answer. There can be short question, very short question. Maybe you have to write in the text box, but not more than 3 or 4 lines of text online, because it is very tough in online to type more than 4 or 5 lines of text. So that is about class test. And then there will be 2 homework assignments. You have to submit both. There is no option. You have to submit both, and one will be before the midterm and one will be after the midterm. So 55% will be from the assessment. Now midterm will be 20% and final will be 25%. I think all of you already know the system. Offline test, we'll upload the question in a particular time. I will give you 1 hour for the midterm, 1 hour for question answering, and then you will have extra 15 minutes for downloading the question, and then write down the answers in blank pages, and then scan the pages, and then upload in the LMS as a single PDF, right? So you are already aware of that. In case of final, there will be 25% marks, and there will be 1 hour 15 minutes, 15 minutes more for the exam. All other things will remain the same. So any question on evaluation part from anybody? Okay. Abdullah Al Rifat, are you there?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay. You are Abdullah Al Rifat?
No, sir, I'm Ishtiaq Ahmed Shah. Yes, sir.
Oh, Abdullah Al Rifat is not there. Okay. Ishtiaq.
Sir, how many time will you give for our assignments or homeworks?
Oh, okay, okay. Actually, it is normally 1 week. So if I upload your homework on, for example, Sunday's class, the submission deadline will be following Sunday midnight. That is 11:59 p.m. in the following Sunday. So you can, it might be 1 or 2 days plus minus, but it's normally 1 week time. Okay. And for the homework,
Okay,
for the homeworks, I intentionally decrease the marks. I could have assigned 20% marks for the homework, right? But I assigned 10%. That is, you will have 5 marks in each homework. So the main idea behind the homework assignments is, if you do the homework or assignments by your own, and all the questions will be the similar question that we have covered in the class. So it is not like something I will give you that is not possible for you to solve. But if you do yourself, even if there are some problems, you might have, for example, I'll not take the homework in 5, right? I will take the homework maybe in 40, maybe in 50 or 60, minimum 40. So if you get, for example, you do some mistakes, if you get 30 out of 40, see, it will be 4 point something, 4.6 out of 5. So if anything 0.5 or over, I will make it 4, no problem. So that will not be a problem. But the problem, the advantage is, if you do it yourself, you will get similar questions in the midterm and final. In the offline exam, you will get similar questions. So that is the advantage of doing homework yourself. If you copy, maybe you can get 5 out of 5, but if I get the 100% copy, I'll give 0 to both. If I get 2 scripts, 100% copy. Even if I get 2 questions, 100% answer is copied. How I measure that? Let it keep to me. How I measure that? But if you do the same mistake, sometimes it means that you copy. But I hope will not copy, because I will give you the questions similar that we have done in the class. So it will not be a problem. And also I'll try to assign some time so that you will have time to do your homeworks before submission. Okay? Okay. So next, schedule of the midterm, you know, midterm and final, it will be central routine. Grading, same as previous, no problem. And we have some course objectives. You should go through these objectives, because these actually states what we need to learn from this course. So after completion of this course, students will be able to do the following: build an understanding of the fundamental concepts of computer network. Okay, fundamental concept. Then master the basic taxonomy and terminology. We will read many taxonomy and terminology, like routing. What is routing? Router. What is a router? What is switch? Okay, so routing table. What are the different categories of routing algorithms? You will know the concepts, and also you'll do some hands-on calculations to understand. And then demonstrate a familiarity with contemporary issues in networking technologies. What are the terms? What are the issues related to the latest networking technology? Some of you might go for higher studies. Some of you might take higher level networking courses. In that case, you must need the basic understanding of the issues in networking. And then analyze different network tools, network programming, and their performance. Actually, this part is basically covered in the lab, computer network lab. So this is not actually we'll do in the class, but based on the concepts in the class, you will do the lab. Then the objectives must be attained by using some specific outcomes. That is the measurable contents. So there are 5 measurable outcomes. You just go through this. Actually, this will help us to gain the goals or objectives in this course. For example, we start with identify and describe the building blocks of internet. So you all know about internet. What is internet? But if we need to master it, we need to know how different parts of the internet are connected together, like network A's, network core, and then how these concepts of layered architecture. You will hear about layered architecture. By the way, is there anyone from EEE background?
Yes, sir. Sudeep Sharkar.
Yes, Sudeep Sharkar. And then Abdul Rahim. Abdul Rahim, are you there? Abdul Rahim Shabir. Okay. Fazila was there. So if you response, I'll just put your attendance. Just one time response. But I will again randomly call at most 3 times. Okay, so from computer science background, you have OSI and TCP IP knowledge in data communication, right? In the data
Yes,
communication course, did you
Yes,
study? Okay, fine. And the EEE background, Sudeep, did you learn anything on this in communication theory, OSI and TCP IP, or digital
Yes, sir.
communication?
Communication theory, sir.
Okay, communication theory, OSI and TCP was covered, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good because it was not before. Then we have discussed because communication theory is the prerequisite of this course. So OSI and TCP should be covered there. But we'll start with basic concepts of OSI and TCP/IP. So this will be a review for you, no problem, because everything in networking is based on OSI TCP/IP. Everything. Then we'll learn about different client-server model and key application layer protocols like email, right? HTTP, then FTP, then DNS, and then another outcome will be we will be able to compare the services provided by UDP, TCP transport layer protocols and explain the mechanisms how those are actually implemented and how those works. And then explain the role of routing, different terminologies, congestion, what is congestion control, what is flow control, how networks are interconnected. And finally, we'll be able to explain and compare different data link layer services, that is wired or wireless, because you know optical fiber, there are different technologies in wired, like optical fiber, UTP, right? Coaxial cable. In case of wireless, again, there are some technologies like Wi-Fi. We all know about Wi-Fi, then WiMAX, then cellular. So we'll have some basic multiple access technologies knowledge. So these are actually the possible outcomes. So what is our goal? Just let me make you sure about what is our goal in a very simple way. We all use networking. Okay, what is the networking service we use mostly? Can you tell me one service from internet or from networking we mostly use?
So file sharing.
Okay, file sharing. I think more than file sharing, we use another thing. What?
Wi-Fi, sir.
So
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi
is
or
the
internet.
technology. Wi-Fi, internet is the technology, but we use Wi-Fi or internet
Not the
why?
service.
Right, for service. So what is
Sir,
service? Maybe email,
Sir, communicate each other.
right? To communicate each other, but we use email to communicate each other. We use voice, right? Mobile to communicate each other. There are so many things. But one
Sir,
thing,
cellular phone.
right? Cellular phone. There are actually many examples, but cellular phone is one of the things. Voice, that is voice communication. We use most, right? But that is actually true for the voice. But for the data, there are two streams of communication. One is voice communication, that is cellular communication, mobile communication, right? Even Skype, VoIP.
Yes, sir.
Another way is actually data, communication through data. That is, one example is web browsing, email, file transfer. So out
Yes,
of the
sir,
web
exactly.
browsing, you do web browsing every day, many times. And we'll start our example from web browsing, because web browsing is the thing, even non-technical people, they use web browsing. So the beauty of this course, it will be, if I think it is a beautiful course, then there might be some reasons. One reason is, not all the courses you will see the direct implication in your life. In your real life experience, every day, every moment, you can connect networking. But not many courses has this advantage, right? If you every course is important, but if you, for example, if you do some math course, if you do some signal processing course, right? Can you see? But if you think about networking course, okay, I am browsing internet, I am doing networking. So the example is just in front of your eye. So that is the advantage, and take it as an advantage. Anyways, last, we'll start our today's class with an example. But before that, just lecture outline. See, all the lectures, date specified and topic specified. It will be a little bit, maybe a little bit plus minus. Maybe sometimes we fall behind, sometimes we just need to adjust, but more or less we'll follow this. So the first 4 lectures will be February 24, 28, March 3 and 7 on these topics. Topics are given. The learning outcome. Learning outcome is these 5 outcomes. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is mapped with the topic. So from the first chapter, we will be able to identify and describe the building blocks of internet, like network edge, network core, and then the basics of layered architecture. You have already covered layered architecture. You will again review it here. So we will have much stronger base on which networking is built. All the networking protocols are built. So anyway, so all readings, chapters of the Kuros and Ross. KR means Kuros and Ross, chapter 1. And in our workbook, we actually specify all the sections also. In chapter 1, we will cover 1.1 to 1.5. And then activities, question answering. We'll give assignment. We'll do some classwork on problem solving session based on our workbook. And then we'll give class test 1. Now, more important thing, your class test dates are fixed. So you can plan for the entire trimester. Sometimes what happens, okay, I have 2 class tests in the same day. You have to plan before, because normally I don't change this until extreme situations. So this is for your advantage. You can plan even if you might have 2 classes on the same day, but you have to plan earlier, rather than just I say, okay, tomorrow it will be a class test. So you have the class test dates and syllabus here. Okay. Now, any question? Ashraful Nahar, are you available? Are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Yasir
Sir,
Arafat? Yes.
sir, is there any presentation or project in the end of our trimester?
No. In this course, actually, we will not have enough time to do that, because this is one of the courses where we need to know a lot of fundamental concepts. Like some courses, like your system analysis and design, you have already done that database, you have already done some mathematics. So in those courses, there are some theory, but you will apply and you will have some presentation course. But this course, I think it will be tough to arrange those type of presentations, because we have to cover the content, and it is very tough to cover the content by the stipulated lab.
So,
No
sir, basically this
presentation.
is also your theory course.
Right. Theory course, and computer network is for any higher level course. Maybe you will do network security. Maybe some of you will do network security, right? Maybe some of you will do
Yes.
cloud
Yes, sir.
computing,
Yes, sir.
where you will need network background. Some of you will maybe you will do mobile cellular communication, where you might need network background. In your higher studies, you will do cyber security. You will do many advanced networking courses where you will need network basics. So the target of this course is to give you some basic concept on computer networking. But in our lab, computer network lab, so all of you are enrolled in the lab, computer network lab?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hopefully. But if some of you actually miss the lab, you will do it later. But normally what we do, in the lab, we give a term project. And there we give some presentation schedule. But now it depends on the course teacher. So we use computer network lab to apply our concepts, and also to develop some idea, implement some project, and then demonstrate and present that. You know, we have participated in project show. You had project show when offline, but now it's the online. So maybe for the last 2 trimesters, it's not happened. But in Computer Network Lab, we give some projects, they develop some projects, and then they demonstrate, present in the projection. So that is in the network lab. Okay, so course outline, I think it's okay, and I request everyone to collect the textbook. That will help, and then I will upload study guide. So this is the guide. I actually mentioned this is a study guide and workbook for this course. I have last modified this on September 2019, third edition. But see, this study book is prepared as a guideline. It's definitely not as a replacement of the textbook. So workbook is like exercise book. It's not your main textbook. For the course, the students must read the textbook to have the required understanding for the exams and other evaluations. So one other point, how frequently we go through our textbook. How much you read your textbook? Let us share for 2 minutes.
Not, sir, not too much, sir.
Not too much.
Sir, I read a lot of books, sir.
Very good. That's a very, very good. If you want to do good in the long run, even not higher studies, if you want to be a good Java programmer, you need to read a lot of Java books. You need to exercise with Java codes. If you want to be a very good computer network engineer, you have to read a lot. So as an engineer, see what is the difference between some other fields, marketing people and other people. We have to understand the concepts. Not only understand the concepts, we have to develop ideas. So reading books is a mandatory thing, but unfortunately, maybe I am wrong, but unfortunately I don't see many students reading books nowadays. And I saw many students to read the slides at most, read the slides. So that is one fear. If you read the workbook, you'll not get the knowledge, required knowledge. You have to have the text. Okay. So if you want to do good in this course, you have to be connected with the textbook. Okay. Now, Farah Farjan, are you there? Farah Farjana?
Yes, sir.
Fazle Rabbi? Okay. Fazle Rabbi?
Yes, sir.
Priyobrata Nath? Priyobrata Nath? Ifat Haq?
Yes, sir.
Afsa. Okay. Ali Ahmed?
Yes, sir.
Kaushik Devdas?
Yes, sir.
Khurshida Jahan?
Present, sir.
Samir Ahmed?
Yes, sir.
Mahmoudul Hassan?
Present, sir.
Abdullah Al Rifat? Inamul Haq? Imam
Yes,
Reza? Inamul?
जी सर इनामुल हक
Imam Reza?
Present, sir.
Rukunut Jaman?
Yes, sir.
Laila Ishrat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fahim Shakil?
Present, sir.
Abu Sajjad? Nibirujjaman, Nibir. Sadman Shakib.
Yes, sir.
Who is there? Nibir. Nibir, are you there? Sadman Shakib.
Yes, sir. Sadman Saqib.
Okay. Adnan Kabir.
Yes, sir.
Taki Yasir.
Yes, sir.
Shahadat Hussain.
Yes, sir.
Rakibul Islam. Al Shariar.
Yes, sir.
Tanvir Hassan.
Yes, sir.
Sakib Hussain.
Yes, sir.
Mashuk Alam.
Yes, sir. Assistant.
Okay. Sabir Sarkar.
Yes, sir.
Abrar Sadiq.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ishtiaq is there. Abdullah Al Wafil.
Present, sir.
Mahfuzur Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shafiqul Islam.
Yes, sir.
Amanta Hussain.
Yes, sir.
Abir Reza.
Present, sir.
Khalid Ridwan.
Yes, sir.
Shahariaz. Rimon. Tahmina.
স্যার চ্যাট লিস্টে প্রেজেন্ট দিয়েছে
Riaz.
প্রেজেন্ট স্যার
Okay. Tahmina present, right?
জি স্যার
Okay. Mahfuzur Rahman. So there
Yes,
are
sir.
two Mahfuzur Rahman. Okay.
Sir, Mahfuzur Rahman Shifat
Sifat.
is
Okay.
present.
Sifat. Present and Muhammad Mahfuzur Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Present Mahfuzur Rahman. Muhammad Mahfuzur Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Are you there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Misbahul Alam.
Yes, sir.
Yasir Arafat.
Present, sir.
Abdul Rahim. Okay. Is there anyone not registered yet?
Yes, sir. Ami achi, sir.
Okay. Give your name, ID in the message box. Okay. Chat box. Okay. Now let me.
registration হয়নি স্যার
Okay, okay. Give your ID and name in the message box. Okay. Just write down not registered in the bracket. I will update later. Okay. Okay. Let me stop presenting here. And now the rest of the class time, just use an example to demonstrate how network works related to our real life example, real life experience. So do you have any idea about IP address? No problem if you don't have any idea about IP address. Okay.
So some basics, sir.
Some basic. Okay, no problem. Just to understand our concept, suppose we have a desktop PC at my home. Okay. This will be let me write about this. Okay. So this is a PC at my home. Now IP address is basically ID of any device that needs to participate in the network. So for example, don't worry much about IP address, but you can see IP address looks like this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about how this comes, from where this comes, how calculation is done. This you will learn in the lab in details. But this is type of ID that every device need to have, so that one device can find another one in the internet. Doesn't matter which part of the world that device resides, but needs to be connected to the internet only. So this is our home PC with this IP address, and suppose this is the server of facebook.com. We are very familiar with facebook.com server, and also facebook.com will have its own IP address. For example, just a pictorial IP address I am using, because Facebook has many servers. Okay, so it will have hundreds of IP addresses. For example, one particular physical machine we are coming. So my first question from our real life experience, when communication starts, like you are using your laptop, using your PC, using your smartphone, and then you are going to a particular website. How we go to a particular website? Just explain the first step. What is the first step? Miraj, are you there? Miraj Farooq? Miraj Farooq.
Ji sir.
You have to be attentive when I call. Okay, what is the first step when you browse internet? In short, in just 2 or 3 words, what is the first step?
স্যার ব্রাউজার ওপেন করতে হবে স্যার, তারপরে একটা আইডি লিখতে হবে, অ্যাড্রেস লিখতে হবে।
Very good, very good. We have to give an address in the browser's address bar. Okay.
জি স্যার।
But basically, if we give facebook.com, we can connect to facebook.com, but actually we need to convert facebook.com to an IP address. Like when you call someone from your mobile, you save using name, right? But when you call, name
Ji,
is
sir.
not used, the number is used. So that number is like IP address. So we give facebook.com. Okay, fine. Good, Miraj. That means the first step is we open our browser. Okay, Abdullah Al Rifat, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'm giving you attendance, no problem. Okay, so the first step is we give an address, or if we give the IP address of the, if we know the IP address of the Facebook, and I give the IP address, fine, it will work. But it is very tough for remembering so many IP addresses. That is where we use names: facebook.com, google.com, yahoo.com. Okay, so then what? We open a browser here, and in the address bar we give facebook.com, right? And that is we call this is a browser in our browser machine. So the first thing we do is giving the destination address. It can be a name, it can be an IP address. All are agreed? Who has not experienced this? Anyone? Anyone there who did not see this happen? Who did not browse? Every one of you browsed. And every one of you started this way. I open my browser, I give an address, and then if everything goes okay, then I get a web page. But just let us now go a little bit deeper. Where is the Facebook server situated? In the Facebook's network, right? That is, we can call Facebook LAN. What is LAN? Local area
network.
Right? Local area network. That is actually the local network. Okay. So when we call in the mobile, I first get connected to the local base station where I am now, and then it will find out where is the destination and then connect. So LAN means local area network, and one thing you have to keep in mind, whoever is connected to the internet must be in a local area network, right? So there is another one. Let us call it our home local area network. Okay, home local area network. You are connected through some service provider, right? So where is the service provider? Actually, you are one of the PC of the service provider's LAN. I call it home LAN, but it is actually you are part of the service provider's LAN. Anyways, so from this PC, we are actually connected to it. Now, the next question, what happens after that, after the first step? What is the second step? So the first step, we can mark like this. Step 1, open a browser. Step 2, now we need to know, not very detailed, don't worry about the underlying details, just how it happens. What is the keyword on the left of facebook.com? Did you see the keyword? Name of a protocol.
Sir, HTTP by HTTPS.
Right, HTTP or HTTPS. Actually, HTTPS, because all servers use secure HTTP. But anything. We are not going to HTTPS right now. We are going to HTTP. So you will definitely see a protocol called HTTP on left of that. HTTP. Actually, HTTP, that means a protocol. That is how it works. So in the next class, we'll know more about protocols. But right now, let us understand the example in such a way that we are using every day. Whenever we browse, we should be able to connect this scenario with our experience. Then it will be very easy. Okay. Second step will be step 2. Since HTTP is a protocol, how communication happens? What is communication? Exchanging messages. See, for human communication, exchanging messages, right? আমরা যখন কথা বলে এক্সচেঞ্জ করি মেসেজ, রাইট? আমরা কি কথা বলা ছাড়া এক্সচেঞ্জ করতে পারি মেসেজ?
জি না স্যার।
Normally, no, sir.
Any other answer? Without, so those who cannot speak, how they exchange information?
By sign language.
Right, using different I think techniques, gesture. Without saying anything, I can give you one instruction. If you understand, that is the point, right? If you understand my intention, then communication is done. Those who cannot speak, do it in some way. Those who cannot see, do it in some way. So everybody has different ways, but we can call it a communication if the message is transmitted successfully. That is the point. Even if you, without uttering anything, if you can send the message, you have done the communication, no problem. So it is possible. Without saying anything, we can communicate. So what is the main concept of communication? Exchanging messages. So if you send something, if a Bangladeshi talks in Bangla with a Chinese, what will happen? Communication happen?
No, sir. I can't understand anything.
Yes, definitely data will be sent. Information will be sent. No problem, but there will be no communication. Okay, there will be communication. If Chinese understands Bangla, and Bangladeshi understands Chinese, that is fine. But that is very rare. So in that case, what happens? Okay, Bangladeshi also uses English. Chinese also use English, and both understands English. So to make a successful communication, you need to send the message in such a way that is understandable to the receiver. So similar thing happens here. Whenever we say HTTP, that is a protocol so that a browser can communicate with a server. How? Let us see. So step 2 will be send this is we call HTTP request. This is a message. HTTP request. So whenever you click, now see, after facebook.com, actually from start, every website has a default file. Can anybody tell me what is the file name? When you, if you have some understanding about website development,
Index update.
Very good. So I think many of you have done web programming course or similar course, or in database course you have done some interfacing. You know, web page we have to give maybe index.html or maybe separately, but we have to give one file to that will open first. So if we like if we give facebook.com, what is the opening page? Facebook server has already said that. So the idea is HTTP protocol, my browser using HTTP protocol will send a request. Why? Okay, send me your opening page. What is the opening page? That is actually defined, right, that is defined there, but we don't know, go to that details right now. Just a request will go to the Facebook server. What happens in the middle? Don't worry about right now. We are thinking about everything in the middle works fine. So the message is forwarded to Facebook server. And in the Facebook server, there is a code running, there is a process running that will read the HTTP request message. And again, if Bangladeshi hears some Chinese language, nothing will be understood, right? No communication. So if this HTTP request is not understandable to the server, server will not communicate. Now assume server understands this. So server is also using HTTP. Server is also using HTTP. And we are assuming that all formats are okay. Now what will happen? Okay, server will see in the message, okay, browser has requested for this file. Yes, I have the file. Server sees that, okay, server has the file. So what server will do? Step 3. Server will respond.
HTTP response.
Right. See, this is just a concept, logic. Everything is logic. So request is sent. Now HTTP response. This is called HTTP response or HTTP reply. Anything you can call. So server will now send a message, and at the end of the message, server will return the file requested. And then what will happen? Step 3.
HTTP response.
Response, and then with the response there will be a
Page.
So this is the web page. requested. This is the initial page of Facebook. So from here, 1, then 2, then 3. I think this is 4. So
Yes, sir.
in 4, we'll see the web page. So this is happening thousands of times every day with us. Very easy to understand. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any question? Any question? If you have any question, okay. Now we can easily relate this example with our real life experience, but you have to know this is not happening in such a similar way because there are so many devices in the middle. There are so many layering concepts, so many mechanisms are working under this layer. The main target of this course will be just assume how to understand this example with an engineering point of view. Maybe the request, the message is somewhere lost. What will happen? Who will respond? How can we get back the request again? How can we retransmit? So these are the things. Okay, now from this point, just let us extend a little bit. What are in the middle? So there are home LAN and Facebook LAN. Now, if we say, okay, what is internet? If we say like internet, actually, what is internet? Actually, internet is so many LANs like this. Maybe LAN, these all LANs will be connected to somehow will be connected to the network. That is internet actually. So when we say internet, internet is a collection of huge number of LANs. So collection of internet is a collection of huge number of LANs. Now again, go to that example. So whenever we say we are browsing, we are connected to the internet, actually we are part of a LAN, and that LAN is connected to the internet. How that happens? You go to a service provider, you ask, okay, give me a line. They give you a line, and they are connected to internet. So we, as a local area network device, we actually connect to the internet. You use a smartphone, internet through a smartphone. You are a member of Grameenphone, Banglalink. So you are a member of their LAN, and then they are connected to the internet. So you are connected to the internet. So internet is nothing, connection of a huge number of LANs. Now communication. Now communication means one device in a LAN to what? Another device in another LAN.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
come back
sir.
to our basic question. The
Sir, is
fundamental
it-
question.
Sir, is
Yes.
it necessary to that other line should be another line?
Actually, right. Good question. Actually, there will be some network connectivity in the middle because Facebook's LAN and your LAN is not directly connected, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have to go through many other networks, but we call those WAN, not LAN, wide area network. So, good, Shahadat. From your question, we can actually classify the middle part as wide area network. What is wide area network? Wide area network just connect local area networks. And then in the wide area network, who actually creates the wide area network? That is the question. Actually, ISPs create the wide area network. So there are different ISPs. Okay. This is also ISP. So maybe this is ISP 1. ISP means what? Internet service
provider.
So there are 3 tiers of ISPs: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Normally tier 3 ISPs actually connects the local networks, and tier 2 and tier 1 actually connects themselves, because Facebook is at the USA and my PC is in Bangladesh. So there are many gaps, physical gaps, right? So in Bangladesh, there are some ISPs. In the Asian country, there are some ISPs. In the America, in the West Europe, there are some ISPs, and they interconnect. So that structure is called the backbone is called the wide area network. But basically, you can think about that. Wide area network itself will not give you access. User will not be part of wide area network. User will be part of a LAN, but then two LANs will be connected through wide area network. So see, now from our very useful example, we are now coming to a point where we can think ourselves, okay, this is how we are connected with the internet. Any questions so far? From the top level, we are not going to technical details today. Just we are trying to create a scenario of internet and how we are actually using internet for different purpose. And most useful example is web browsing. Okay. Now, just one more thing. I think we have 5 minutes. Just let me give 2 minutes. So, how ISPs are actually, what are the devices contained in the ISP's infrastructure? So, normally ISPs are not for end users, right? ISPs are for connecting end users. So, I am an end user. My device, I use my device. So, I will connect to another end device. Maybe that is a server of Facebook, but using the infrastructure of ISP. So the main component that actually are situated in ISP are called
Routers, sir.
right, routers. Actually, not only ISPs, whenever a local area network or whenever a network tries to connect a device in another network, there must be router in the middle. So my home network, actually, maybe my home will not contain the router. Maybe the ISP will contain the router. It can happen. But also my home network can also contain router. We are using Wi-Fi, right? So ISP gives us connection to a router. That is my router, home router. And then I am creating my local LAN. So I am going outside of my LAN through that router. And then I go to the ISP's network, right? And then ISP forwards my request to another, like this. This happens. So every ISP contains a number of routers, and they are actually interconnected. They are interconnected, okay? And finally, Facebook's LAN also connected to the internet through their own router. So router is a device that connects different networks. Okay, one last thing. If there are many devices in my network, then how we can connect? Router is only used to connect to another network, but in the same network, I have 10 devices. Then we should use some device called
Hub switch, sir.
right, hub or switch. Very good. Hub or switch. We will learn a little more in the labs. The second or third lab, you will do some exercises with to understand the difference between hub and switch and router. But hub and switch can only connect different devices in the same network, same group. They cannot connect devices in different group or different network. So this is the basic for today. Enough. So we connect our devices to different ports of, maybe there is a laptop, maybe there is another smartphone. Okay. So hub or switch can be used to connect these internal devices. I think this is the structure from which we can go to further details from the next class. What are the different components of internet? What are the different structures of internet? How they are connected? Okay, but always keep in mind, network will be very easy if you can relate your real life experience with your theory. Just don't think about this is a formula, I have to remember my formula. No, these are all the things that we have used in our daily life, but maybe before we didn't think in that way. Now we have to think that way. How this happens? Just come out with questions. How this? Why I have seen a message many times? What? 404 file not found, right? Did you see that message?
Ji, sir.
404
Yes.
file
Yes, sir.
not found. Why? Why I came across these messages? Now, whenever you browse, whenever you see anything, try to connect with this. Networking will be easier. So if you don't connect, network will be tough. If you connect, it will be easy because it is very much related with our real life experience. So, okay, thank you. I think that is the end of for today. Next class, we will start a little bit in depth with chapter 1, and we'll start with this example. There is a diagram used in the textbook. Always that diagram will be used throughout the textbook. I tried to make our example scenario that is related with this. Okay. So let us finish today. Any question? Anybody? Okay. So I will send you invitation by today. Try to accept and click yes, and then from the next class you can enter the class without any permission. Okay. So সবাই ভালো থেকো। নেক্সট ক্লাসে দেখা হবে ইনশাআল্লাহ।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
সালাম স্যার, ভালো থাকবেন।
Assalamu alaikum, sir.